The alveoli are thin-walled microscopic air sacs where gas exchange with the blood occurs. The walls of the alveoli are primarily composed of a cell type called the type 1 alveolar cell. It is a simple squamous epithelium that also has elastic connective tissue to allow the alveoli to stretch and fill during inhalation and recoil to expel air during exhalation. The simple squamous epithelial tissue type is ideal for the function of gas exchange because diffusion of oxygen into the blood and carbon dioxide out of the blood occurs more easily across cells that are thin and flat. A thin layer of water coats the inner surface of the alveoli, as diffusion must occur across membranes that are kept damp. The type 2 alveolar cells are much less numerous than the type 1 cells and do not form the structure of the alveoli walls. Instead, they serve a different function. They produce and secrete a substance called surfactant or pulmonary surfactant, which is essentially a biological detergent composed of lipids and proteins. Its role is to reduce the surface tension of the water that coats the inner lining of the alveoli. Surface tension reduces the ability of the alveoli to inflate. When surface tension of the water coating the alveoli is too high, the person must exert greater effort with the muscles of breathing in order to get the alveoli to inflate. The type 2 cells do not begin producing surfactant until just prior to birth, so individuals who are born prematurely must be administered synthetic surfactants with an inhaler or must be put on ventilators to increase the pressure of the air going into the lungs so that the alveoli will inflate properly. Figure 22.11 highlights the type 1 and type 2 alveolar cells. The type 1 cells form the structure of the walls of the alveoli and are more numerous than the type 2 cells. The alveolar macrophages are types of monocytes that patrol the inner surfaces of the alveoli and kill any bacteria that have been inhaled or destroy any dust or debris. As mentioned previously, alveolar pores connect adjacent alveoli in order to allow air to distribute evenly throughout the lungs. If a pore is blocked by mucus, dust, or debris, the air can flow through a different pore to ensure that the alveoli will still inflate. The respiratory membrane is the membrane across which gas exchange occurs by simple diffusion. Oxygen from the air in the alveoli diffuses into the blood, while carbon dioxide diffuses from the blood to the air in the alveoli. The membrane consists of the type 1 alveolar cells, the capillary endothelium, which is the inner lining of the capillary walls, and a connective tissue membrane called the fused basement membrane that also possesses elastic fibers. The fused basement membrane is located between the type 1 alveolar cells and the capillary endothelium. The macrophages patrol the inner surface of the alveoli to cleanse them of bacteria, dust, and debris. The alveolar pores connect adjacent alveoli to allow for the equal distribution of air throughout the lung. Abundant capillaries are present between alveoli for the purpose of gas exchange between the air in the alveoli and the bloodstream.